Hi, my name is Dr. Katrin Meidell, and I am the viola professor at the Schwab School of Music at Columbus State University in Columbus, Georgia. I'm going to walk you through the GMEA All-State 2023-2024 Etude for 9th and 10th grade, which is Mazas, Etudes Speciales. This is the development of the bow, number 4. This etude is all about bow control and being able to show a multitude of different kinds of articulations. So a lot of the articulations are détaché, which is this on the string, and then sometimes getting those accents. And the way that I think about those accents is not about bow speed, but it's rather about weight. So I'm really thinking about placing the bow on the string so that the stick gets closer to the hair. You can see how I'm sort of adjusting the distance between the stick and the hair. And that gives me a stickiness, and I do that with the index finger. I'm not pressing with the entire arm, I'm just really thinking hanging and then articulating with that index finger. So that gives me the ability to do these without suddenly using a lot of bow. So what we're trying to avoid is, and you can hear how that gets really wild sounding. So that's not what we want. We want these nice index finger weight accents. All right, so that is the détaché stroke with accents. Then we have the détaché stroke without accents. And then we get these dotted figures. So that's kind of a spiccato. It's a little bit slow, in my opinion, to be a true spiccato, but it is off the string. So I'm thinking these banana shapes, so you can sort of see how I'm making an arc with my bow. That kind of a thing. But I don't know if you noticed this, I actually started from the string and then get out of the string. Oh, one of the things that I had kind of a hard time with when I was first starting to learn this was stopping doing accents. So in the first line, we have accents for the first 3 bars, and then we don't have accents on each big beat anymore. So what I did was I just put an X over the first 2, and that reminded me, oh right, I don't need to be doing accents anymore. And putting little markings like that in for yourself to help you avoid making mistakes is always a good idea. I think one of the other things that the etude is looking for is having a clear difference between a forte dynamic and a mezzo piano dynamic and a piano dynamic. So being careful not to just blast through the whole thing, which I think can be fairly easy to do. So make sure that you have those nice moments of quieter dynamics and more lyrical music. There's a typo on the last line where we have that grace note. I checked this against the violin edition because this etude is originally written for violin, and at some point the editor just missed that the grace note needed to come down a step. So in that last line, is the correct pitch. If you play what's on the page, it's which is a really big stretch, and it doesn't make any sense in the key. So instead of playing the grace note as an A natural, play it as a G. So again, that's, and that's also a lot easier to do. If we look 4 lines from the bottom on the first page, we have a rest at the end of the 4th line. We've got this run. So right there, I think it's a little bit hard if you leave your first finger down to get the high note in tune. So as we go up through that, I'm okay with leaving the 3rd finger down, but don't leave the first down, because then it really puts your hand in a weird contorted shape. So again, as you go up that arpeggio, let go of the 1. So you can see how my first finger lifted. I'll do that one more time. And that lets that be nice and in tune. Earlier in that same line, so this is 4 lines from the bottom on the first page, just watch out for the F natural that happens in the 3rd beat. It sounds really cool when you play it as an F natural, but it can also easily sound right as an F sharp. So this is the first measure of the 4th to last line on the first page. So right there I played it as an F sharp, and now I'm going to play it as it's actually written. So making sure that you have that F natural there, I think it sounds really cool. So watch out for that. Start from the string. So whenever we have these scales that go up, and then you jump to the low string, and then you have a scale that goes up, again you jump down, and you go up, and then you jump down. So every time you go from the top back down, make sure that you give yourself time to actually catch the string. So if I go back to the very beginning of this, I will not catch the string, and you will hear what that sounds like. And you can hear how that's, it's decent, but it's not great. If I just give myself a split second to feel my index finger in the stick, and catch the string, it'll sound a lot better. So you can hear how the beginning of each measure is a lot cleaner when I give myself time to catch the string. On the 2nd page, about halfway through the etude, we start getting this back and forth thing where we're kind of jumping. That whole business there. Really be careful about your elbow levels so that your elbow is helping you get to the string that you want to be on. So there's a lot of action on the right side. Very active. That'll help you play all of those. And then the hardest thing I think is changing your articulation like immediately. And as string players, that's just one of the hardest things we ever have to do is, you know, you're doing something and then all of a sudden you have to do something completely different, which requires a lot of bow control. I also wanted to point out that the sforzandos and the accents are not the same. So I'm thinking about the sforzandos as a left hand vibrato, so it's an intensification on the left side and really not all that different on the right side than just the accents. So we're not trying to have really crazy sforzandos. So for example, if I go back to the beginning, that's a little bit crazy because I've got both an accent and a wild vibrato. So, and I don't want a wild vibrato, I just want a really excited vibrato. So for me, the sforzandos are left hand, not right hand. I'll show that the right way. So I'm getting like a lot of pop from the left side, not from the right. I found myself wanting to rush through each quarter note and not wanting to give it its full value. So in my mind, I'm subdividing each quarter note into a triplet. So and that helps me stay rhythmically accurate without rushing. Otherwise, it's really easy to get faster and faster and faster and faster and get ahead of the metronome if you have one going. So just watch out for that also. Final idea, I think, is in the very, very end. We have a rather awkward fingering, in my opinion, where we're hanging out. Up there in 5th position in Life is Happy. I would really love if that fingering were a 1-2, but it's not. It's a 3-4, which means we have to go back into 3rd position. So. which to me is rather awkward. So I had to just make sure that I was comfortable with that before I recorded this for y'all. I don't know if anyone would catch it if you played it with a 1-2. So maybe you can get away with that if it's a little bit easier for you. Otherwise, just practice it and you will be fine. If you have any questions, you can send me an email. I am always happy to talk to prospective students, and I give free lessons. So if you want to come down for a free trial lesson and check out our really beautiful campus and see what Columbus State is all about, please shoot me an email. All right, and without further ado, I will perform for you Mazas number 4, Development of the Bow.